All right, last one. Here we go. Oh no, look. He's starting to deflate. Jack, come back. Nope, Halloween. Shrinking. Oh no, melting. He's melting. He's melting. Okay, so let's see here. Now we're dealing with I. That's back to Unit 1 stuff and radicals. Back to Unit 1. Do you remember Unit 1? Okay, you're going to see this on the test. Unit 1. Okay, so we distribute the negative through. So negative 3 minus 2i. Pause me. What are you doing? Try them on your own. I'm waiting. You're only going to do good if you try it on your own. Pause me. Pause me. Then try it. Then push play. See how you did. Pause me again. So that's a minus 12. Negative and negative is a positive 5i. So we have 5i minus 2i is 3i. And we have a negative 12 with a negative 3, which is negative 15. Plus 3i is our positive. Yeah, there we go. Good job. So then this distributes through. So we have 3 plus. Oh, wait a second. What's I squared? Let's make this easy on ourselves. What's I squared? I squared is negative 1. So we get 3 plus 2 times I squared, which is negative 1. And that's going to be multiplied through like that. So 3 minus 2 times 5 minus 6i. So negative 2 times 5 is a negative 10. And negative 2 times negative 6 is a positive 12i. Way-o. So 3 minus 10 is negative 7. 3 minus 10 is negative 7 plus 12i. You got this. Ace this Unit 1 stuff on the final next time. Okay, do you know how to distribute? Seashell, seashell. Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. Woo! Don't say it too fast. Okay, so 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5i is 10i. Negative 3i times 4 is negative 3 times 4 is 12i. And then negative 3 times 5 is a negative 3 times 5 is 15i squared. But what does I squared become? So I squared becomes a negative 1. So negative 15 times negative 1 is a positive 15. And then positive 15 with 8, what is that? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we get 23. And then what's 10i with minus 12i? I just comes along for the ride. So 10 minus 12 is what? The bigger number is 12, so you're still negative. And then a 2. Difference is 2. So that's minus 2i. Did you get that right answer? Are you going to ace the final exam? I hope so. Now remember, when you're doing radicals, whole numbers with whole numbers. So 5 times 3 is 15. And radicals with radicals. So that's radical 14. And then minus, well, what if you don't have a whole number with a radical? Well, 5, right, because we're going to multiply in 5 radical 2, right, times negative radical 2. Well, that 5 can still multiply with the negative invisible 1 there. So that's going to be a minus 5. And then 2 times 2 is the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. And negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. So we have 15 radical 14 minus 10. 2 and 7 is what 14 breaks down into. Nothing comes out there. So we have to put the whole number first. So negative 10 plus 15 radical 14 is our answer. Could you do that on the final exam? Pause me. Try another one. Okay, the square root of negative 25, 5 times 5, right, as well as 8 times 8. But the negative becomes an I. Negative becomes an I. Since you have a pair, it'll come out, and negative becomes an I. So we get 5i plus 8i is 13i. Woo! So, yep, that's the only way we can do those is separately. Okay, what about when there's multiplication involved? Don't do it, because the I matters. So do with the radical first before you multiply them, okay? So the square root of 4 is 2, and then the square root of 4 is 2, and the negative becomes an I, times the square root of 9 is 3, and the negative becomes an I. And so that's 2 times 3 is 6, and I times I is I squared. And I squared is a -1. So we get -6. Woo! Remember, go on Canvas. Go back through those even problems. Look online. Do more problems like that, right? Go back through them and test yourself. This is one a lot of people missed on the Unit 1 test. Pause me. You try 41 on your own. I'm waiting. And come on. Okay, so that's d to the first power, 4 to the first power. You got to recognize that, because now you're going to distribute that -2 all the way through. Because a power to a power, you multiply the powers. Not add them, you multiply them. So we get 4 to the first power times -2. That's going to be 4 to the -2, right? Whoops, 4 to the -2. And then c to the third power times -2, so -2 times 3 is a -6. And then -2 times 1 is just a -2, so d to the -2. And then times, we got 5 times 3 is c to the 15. And then that d to the first power times 5 is just 5. Well, those are all negative. You got to bring them down. You got to bring them down. So that means that this 4 comes down here as 4 to the +2, which is 16. This c comes down as a -6, becomes a +6. And this d comes down to the bottom and becomes a +d. Okay, so that, wait a sec. Newbold, you could just add the powers. I like it this way, okay? Fine. So then we have c to the 15 and d to the 5 all over 16, c to the 6, and d squared. Well, how many d's do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have 2 d's here. And so one of those will cancel. So we're left with d to the third power on top. So that's, let's do it over here. So that's d to the third power on top, all over 16. D's are gone. Ooh, so I have 6 c's down here. And so you're going to cancel 6 of them with 15 up here. And so that's going to be 15 minus 6 is 9. And so you can also do a subtraction if you're doing division. Okay, there's our answer. Way-o, there's our answer. Did we do that right? 15 minus 6 is 9. 5 minus 2 is 3. Way-o. That's a 9. Okay, last but not least, we're almost there. So they're underneath the radicals, so we can multiply them together. So we get the square root of 27 times 3 times x to the third times x to the fifth. So if you see that on the final exam, I would break it down as much as possible. So we have a 9 times 3 times 3, because that's 27, breaks down. That breaks down into 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And then we have 8 x's, because that's 3 and 5, 1, 2, 3. That's supposed to be an x to the third power, sorry. So that's 1, 2, 3. What the? And then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3 and 5. Okay, circle the pairs. So 1, 3 comes out. Another 3 comes out. So that's going to be 9 on the outside. Then we have 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x's. So that's 9x to the fourth power is our answer. Way-o. Try the next one on your own. So negative 125 breaks down into negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. How did you know that? Well, it's the difference of cubes. So if you divide by 5, you get 25. And then 25 divided by 5 is also 5. So we have 1, 2, 3 5s in there. And so they're all negative, because negative is a positive with a negative is a negative. So that's going to work for us. And so triplets come out. Because of the third root, you need triplets. So that's negative 5. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 3 triplets that also come out. So there's an x and another x. So that's x squared. Now, y to the 8th power has actually 8 y's. And so we have 2 that come out. So that's also y squared. But we still have the cube roots left of y squared. Woo, we did it. So try to find more problems to practice. You're going to ace it. Woo! Go back on Canvas. Go through those problems. See you next time. Ace the final. Thanks for watching.